Now that we have some background elements, let's add some gameplay. I want the ship to be able to fire towards the planet, and for this we'll make a weaponry directory with a cannon script and a splatter script that will be our ammunition. For our splatter, let's make it a class. And for now, I want it to be a small sphere. For this, we'll need to create a mesh with a sphere mesh again. But instead of creating the create functions in every class and repeating that code, let's put it somewhere where every class can use it. For this, we have some options. For the first, let's create a singleton. To do this, we'll create a global script and in the project settings, set it to Autoload. This way the object gets created once in the whole game, so everything in the game can reference to this object and get the same one. Let's move the create functions we need from the planet to the global script, change our syntax away from being private functions, and replace the function calls in the planet to the global ones. With this, our game still works the same, but now the global functions are used. For the second option, we're going to use static functions and create a create script. These static functions don't take the current game state in effect, so these functions always give the same return with the same inputs. Let's take the create material function from the planet script and move it to our create script, rename it a bit and make it a static function, and make our script a class so we can access it from the planet and relink the functions. The difference between the two is that the global class can have properties you can edit in runtime, and the create class only can have static properties and functions. So when we try to access the global property, it works, but with the create property it gives an error, and we first have to create a new instance. For accessing the create function, I like the static function option better, because the functions don't need to know anything about the game state. So let's move them to the create class and change their names. However, this makes it so that the name of the function is the same as the variable we use in the function, so let's put an underscore there to get rid of this warning. And of course make the function static. Let's clean everything up a bit and move back to our splatter. Make it a node 3D so it can exist in our world, and finally fill our body with a mesh instance and the mesh with a sphere mesh using our create functions. The way our game looks hasn't changed, but now we have the possibility to reuse our code.